Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. It is Tuesday. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme. And in the studio tonight, Alan Ruff, Hugh, MacDonald and Darren Jackson are with me. And we are slowly but surely moving towards the double header for Scotland. Yeah, lots to discuss, of course. Call-offs, people retiring, no longer want to be considered to play for Scotland. Didn't happen in your day, Ruffy, did it? You would have walked over broken glass to play for your country.
No, it was an absolute privilege. You know, at the end of maybe a month, there would be a Scotland game coming up and you were just desperate to meet up, meet the guys who you've been playing with for 2 or 3 years, and the banter was always good, and it was always even better winning games and qualifying for big tournaments. You know, I think that's the biggest problem for me, is these guys don't see that as the pinnacle of their careers now. It's all about what they're doing elsewhere. And
when we qualified for tournaments, Ruffy, you always like to get your photograph taken, get people, you know, enjoying the fact that you were ready. They wanted to copy you, maybe a hairstyle, maybe the latest.
Yeah, there was nothing better than getting that 10 quid for the Panini calendars. It was just a joy, you know, to sign your life away for that tenner.
Look at that, Ruffy. I mean, what happened there, Ruffy? I mean, at least three of them get capped. Is that fair? That's magnificent, eh? Look at that. Look at the two players you got on the side. Absolutely top drawer.
I'm not sure which World Cup that was to qualify.
That was 82. That was 80. You are such an arrogant so-and-so, you really are. Anyway, listen, we'd love nothing more than to be able to make it to a finals. And of course, Scotland's assistant coach, Alec Douglas, has mentioned that he would love nothing more himself to be part of Steve Clarke's backroom team celebrating getting to a major finals.
I don't know about that one. I mean, look, I got offered this job, which I grabbed both hands, and you know, you want glory, don't you? You want to go away thinking, look what I've done. You know, I've been part of this. That's what you want. Yeah, any boy would want that. You know, any player, any human being would want to go to that next level and have that feeling. Even when you win promotion for your clubs, or you know, you get into a point, it's just a great feeling. And to do it at national level, international level, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'd love Alec to be part of the team making it if we can get past that playoff position in March. Of course, people calling off raises suspicion. People now calling time is another one that really annoys the life out of me. We've got Matt Ritchie, the latest. There's no Celtic players asked to be rested, and they are right in the middle of it. No Rangers players that I can think of that have called off here that want to be rested.
Yeah, I think, and you know, there'll be individual reasons for genuine injuries in there as well. I mean, we can't tar everybody with the same brush. But yeah, I think Ruffy makes a good point when he says, you know, that these games might not be looked at as a priority for many players. Especially, this is a time of the season before the winter break in Scotland, before the absolute mayhem in the EPL, which is Christmas and New Year, where managers will probably be saying to players, you know, watch yourself here, and you don't need to go up there, and you've got that tight hammy, and you know, watch yourself. And I think that's kind of Spade it. I've got another view in the games. I believe these are, you know, I've heard them described as a dead rubber. I think these are vitally important games for Scotland.
And does that make it more painful when you hear of people calling off? No Robertson, no Fraser, no McTominay, no Tierney. Now we don't have any of the world-class left-backs that we thought we had.
I think it's because those were all starters for me. And what Steve Clarke really needs is he needs to get his own ideas across. He needs to get his first 11 on the park. And he needs to get that bit of that great word, that momentum going towards the playoffs.
Do you think we're now in this point where the SFA has to really start to take a heavy hand on this?
It's difficult for them though. I see the problems and I see why they're resisting it, because it's something that can come back and bite you, you know. But personally, I'm getting to the stage where I think the biggest problem for Scotland at the moment might be apathy amongst fans and players.
Darren, what's your thoughts on that?
I can only talk from myself, Peter. I don't get boys retiring at an early age. I don't want to come and play for the country at an early age. I don't get it at all. The injuries, I can only go because I know Andy Robertson. He's definitely injured. There's no way Andy would pull out without being injured. The way I see McTominay, he looks a boy who wants to turn up all the time. Ryan Fraser, and I'm not saying he's not injured, but he's injured quite a lot. But it gives other boys a chance. I think the games are important to kick on from the San Marino game, where I think they'll have turned up to the squad a lot happier. Yes, I thought San Marino were probably one of the worst teams I've seen, but they won 5-0 and they put on a good performance. Yeah. And they'll have turned up full of joy, want to turn up to the squad, ready for the games to go. It's a blow losing Robertson and McTominay. I do think that. But then you've got other boys that can come in and take their chance, and that's what happens with the Scotland squad.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. One of them is the Rangers midfielder Ryan Jack, and he's the first to admit he would play anywhere he's told to for Scotland.
Yeah, I think obviously I've not had too many caps. It's one thing I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about being involved for my country, playing for my country, and going forward, hopefully we can achieve something. No, look, I've never said that I have to play midfield for my country, or I've never demanded that I have to play midfield. It's up to the manager, whatever team he chooses, and whatever sort of personnel he chooses. Then I'm happy to play wherever, to be fair. So yeah, I've never really demanded that I have to come and I have to play midfield.
Well, there's a boy, Ruffy, that a year ago I was looking and thinking he's not at international class, but what a great year, what a progression. The learning curve from that boy is all the way up the way.
Yeah, he's one of these players year on year. He's getting better and better, obviously working with quality players day in, day out. And Darren will tell you, there's nothing better than you become an international player and you're walking about a dressing room with a lot of other international players, and that's what it's like at Rangers and Celtic. You know, when they're away, probably the dressing rooms are empty, and you don't want to be the one that's left, you know, while they're all away. So that would be an asset for Rangers, him being a Scotland player, and they'll get the benefit out of him as well.
Yeah, and of course the player himself wants to bring that for him, for club into country.
I just hope that I can bring the sort of form and the way I've been playing for my club, because I think that's obviously what gets you recognition, and that's what gets me the chance to be here and show this next 7-8 days that I deserve a chance. And for me, I just want to bring my form from my club and bring that into my country if I get a chance.
Hugh, are you a fan?
Yes, absolutely. I think he's come on. I think he was always a decent player, but I think he's really come on. He's added goals to his game. Technically very good for the Rangers in that sitting role that he comes forward. I think he offers Scotland another option as well, because it's a tough midfield to get into when they're all fit. I don't think he would get into the midfield if they're all fit. In fact, I'm sure he wouldn't. But he offers that alternative at right back as well. So, yep. And with the pool, I mean, we're all talking about people pulling out the squad. It's not good news for anybody. It might be good news for him, because he'll get in the team now, I think.
Yep. Well, Cyprus and Kazakhstan, we will continue our countdown to the games throughout this week's programming. Hopefully you can join us on our YouTube and Facebook Live as well. So switching our attention from the international scene to domestic issues, you can always tell, I think, Hugh, when it's an international week, because suddenly we start to have players linked with big moves, and suddenly Lewis Ferguson's name's linked with a move to Rangers in January. I'm sure Aberdeen will have something to say about it.
Yeah, but it's kind of inevitable, especially this time of year, Peter. It's coming to the starting line for the opening of the transfer window, and there'll be a right few that'll be in the mix. Rangers is an interesting one as well, because Steven Gerrard's more or less said hands off any of his top talent, but they've got to move players out. I mean, there's players there that they just they're so far out of it. They're on the same postcode, so he'll have to get rid of a few.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder about that, because suddenly you've got Kamara, who's had a couple of good games, really good games, and then suddenly, it's interesting clubs down south. I can't help but feel that somewhere in the background there is a brilliant PR operation going on here, Hugh, to try and get a few of the deadwood out, or somebody that suddenly shows a little bit of potential, because if they sell Morelos, I mean, the manager will be absolutely livid. It would kill off any chance of a title.
Selling Morelos would just be like, I mean, I can't see the circumstances where rationally they would sell Morelos. The only way they could sell Morelos is if the board of directors who are signing cash for shares basically said, right, enough's enough. We're not doing this anymore. We'll sell him. I don't see that, Peter. I don't see that. I mean, I see Morelos inevitable. All good players in Scotland will go. But I cannot. I mean, I never rule in now, but my honest opinion is I can't see the circumstances for Rangers selling them in January.
And interestingly enough, Stephen Gerrard reckons that there'll be more outgoings than incomings. But even a link with Lewis Ferguson, I don't see that as. Although Lewis Ferguson I rate very highly, I've suggested at the start of the season I thought Celtic should go and buy him as well, Darren. But I look at Rangers and I say to myself, if you're serious about the title, if you're shipping players out, go and get another goal scorer. Go and fire your... I don't know about you, but I'm attack.
Yes, well, when we were at Dundee United, that's obviously what we like to do with the fullbacks, scoring 8 and 10 goals a season. But I think he'll be doing everything to keep every single one of them, because he knows he needs to keep them. Because you bring someone else in, and it might be a good player, but it's a gamble. The boys there know now. They know the way Stephen Gerrard works. Even Ryan Jack, he's come on a bundle, and his manager will be sitting down talking to him and maybe going through, analysing games and going through games, and you've got one of the best in the world as your manager talking you through that. So that's great for Rangers, but I do believe that it would be a disaster if they lost Morales for Rangers. And yes, they've got Defoe there, who I think someone said he's got more goals, league goals, than Morales just now. But he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it week in, week out. I think he's at an age where what a substitute he is for Rangers. So I think it would be a disaster if they got rid of him. Yeah, they're constantly posting losses, Ruffy. But from my point of view, as Hugh and I have discussed ad nauseum about this, if you've got a group of directors who are constantly willing to put in and dilute the shares and not look for the money back, I think every one of them will be saying, let's just take the hit to the summer. Take the hit, because this is it. This for me is the home run. Try not to let any of the players that can make a significant contribution go, and just go for it. And if they could pull somebody out of the hat to bring in, that would be a bonus. But I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. I agree with the guys. Nobody will go, because I think they put all their eggs into one basket. Dave King's already said that the only way we can get into a financial footing is we're playing Champions League football. They will see themselves that this is an ideal chance, possibly, this year that could come about. And if it comes about, we're talking 30, 40 million, which could wipe out all these loans, it could wipe out all the debt. So I think this is the big year for them. I really do think this is the time when they think they can get the finances back in order.
I think it'll be a busy transfer window for Rangers in one respect, Peter. I think that Ross Wilson has been brought up as well, is to get the players. He's not going to touch the first 11 or even the first 15 or perhaps even the first 16, but to get the players on the periphery who are beyond decent wages, to get them out the door. He's got to do it. There's got to be a clear out there. But the idea of, say, Barisic, Tavernier, Morelos, even Kamara going in the January window, I don't think that's on, and I don't think it's on politically, never mind economically, because they've got the fans on side at the moment, and they've that will not wear well with them. Yeah, and equally so, Hugh, if you're looking at what would make Rangers better, I think it's a goal scorer. Yep. And the same with Celtic. I mean, I look at the link with the ex-Bayern midfielder who's, I think, at Heidenheim, Nicholas Dorsch. Midfielder? Don't need midfielders. Celtic need a striker. Yep, absolutely. I mean, any midfielder, the kid's 20, so he'd be coming in development-wise, because Celtic's midfield is so good at the moment, and Cham struggles to get it, and I'm a great fan of Cham. I know he was huffy for most of last season. He was out for 6 or 8 weeks with a pout, a lip pout. But I mean, I think he's a really good player, and he struggles to get in the team. You saw that Ryan Christie didn't start the weekend, so obviously that's not what they need as a midfield. But I think very much so they need a striker. They can adapt. You could see they've played Forest there before. They played early and you see but they could adapt. But they really need a striker.
Darren,
shaking
I was going to say, you're shaking your head. You played in the side that stopped 10 in a row. There was Bratt back there. There was Larsson. There was yourself. Was there anybody else? Am I missing some? Tommy Johnson.
Tommy Johnson was injured. Tommy was injured quite a lot, but I think you're right. Celtic definitely need a striker because we don't know what's going to happen with Griffiths. Hopefully, he is going to be back. I'm not sure about Bio whether he's good enough, but they need a striker, or they maybe need 2 strikers. I think in midfield, the wide areas, I think they're fine. Yeah. I think they're overloaded with the 3 number 10s. Could play, I mean, in any team. I mean, they're excellent with 3 number 10s.
And wider gates. Well, Mikey Johnson's still to come back as well in a wide area. He was very good at the beginning of the season.
You've got Morgan, Mikey Johnson.
And you've still got Sinclair's another story. Who knows? But they still have him.
And is the striker the key to winning the league for you, Darren?
Well, it's keeping Edouard as well. Yep. You never know what can happen with Edouard in the summer. I don't think in January. I don't think they'll sell him. Yeah. But there could be a huge bid for him because of the potential. But I do think mainly a striker. That's what they need. I think they're fine everywhere else. Yeah. Just one little point, Hugh, and I'll go to you on this because, and I'm not excluding Ruffy and Darren because I don't think their points are valid, but I think I'll get.
All they do is play World Cups.
Well, I was just about to say, I think I'll get more of a baseball bat out of you on the facts on this one. But Brendan Rodgers has been chatting. Trying to give his end of things as far as Celtic are concerned. I'll start the whole thing. I think it's a nonsense that people only 4 or 5 months down the line seem to have forgotten all about the history of this with Brendan Rodgers. The nonsense is, quite simply, nobody's doubting he was a good coach. Everybody knows a good coach. The point is, you don't declare your love for somebody and then divorce them.
Not at that time of the season. I mean, the great thing about it was if he'd have left after securing a treble, they would have been carrying him out. I mean, it's not a matter of leaving Celtic, it's how he left Celtic. Yeah. And his last season did him no credit. I think his press conference before the AEK Athens game, which was the biggest game of Celtic's season, certainly in financial terms, was frankly a disgrace, where he blamed the board. He talked about his team not being as good as before the biggest game of the season. He's talking about my team's not as good as it was last season. You say, come on, you can't be saying that in the press. You can't be saying that to your team in the eve of the biggest game. And I think I would say to him, as far as this going on about I came to Leicester, I would say put down the spade and walk away from the hole.
Yes, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right, Hugh. I mean, if ever I heard the best summing up of it, it was an ex-Celtic manager, Gordon Strachan, who said, "You're just about to tell your girl you're in love with her, you're married, you're going to stay with her forever," and then you look over her shoulder and go, "Ooh, I like the look of that one over there." Now, look at Ruffy. He can relate to that line. I'm not coming to you now for fear of getting into trouble. Anyway, if you are a Celtic fan, a Kevin Bridges fan, here's a chance to win a strip.
You can win this Celtic away top signed by one of the UK's top comedians, Kevin Bridges. All you have to do is like, share, follow or subscribe to one of our PLZ Soccer social media channels.
Yeah, good luck with the competition. Look at Ruffy, desperate to get in there on that line, but we're not letting him in at all. Don't forget, you can follow us over all our social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook Live, news coming up. We will be with you with our new podcast coming up this week. We're in our new Facebook Live studios as well, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube and get the football show Monday to Friday. Hopefully you're enjoying that. Download the app as well, and you'll get all the news from across the globe in football and all our unique video content too. So with that in mind, thank you very much to the guys who've contributed to the programme today: Alan Ruff, Hugh MacDonald and Darren Jackson. From myself, Peter Martin, thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.